welcome. This is Mama Jess. This is a special word for those who don't want to get out of bed, where you feel like you'd rather be dead. I know how that feels. I went through a very dark season in my life after my young husband died. My parents divorced, and I lost a couple other friends to cancer and a surfing accident. And I really had days like, I need to be dead. I can't deal with this much pain. And for me, this was 25 years ago, so I wasn't so aware of the whole suicide trend, and it was not something I thought of actually killing myself. So I just wanted to be dead. And at one point, my father told me that my grandma said, my hillbilly grandmother, raised in a coal mining camp, extreme poverty, when homesteading was really grueling and it wasn't like homesteading with Amazon backup. You know, it wasn't so fancy. She told my dad, and then my dad told me, I guess my dad was probably in his early 40s. She said, honey, you're going to want to be dead, or how'd she say it? You're going to want to die, but you won't. And I remember when my father told me that, it was very profound. I needed to know that it was not an uncommon, shocking thing to have seasons of life when you were just worn out by living and you just wanted to be gone. I think there's a lot of almost frantic panic of certain people when you're trying to voice how awful you feel. They kind of go into a mode like, are you going to harm yourself? Or, you know, I don't want you to kill yourself. And it's a reasonable concern. But I know in my case, it really helped me to have someone just say, hey, of course you want to be dead. Sometimes that's just how it is to be alive. And it just it calmed everything down for me. Just went, okay, I'm not the only one who's felt this way. And it's just for a season. And so all that tension around it and kind of the shame of feeling that way, it just kind of dissipated. And I went, oh, there are times in our life when we're just going to feel so bad. And so I want you to know that it's okay those days you feel like you might not have motivation to learn any of the skills that I'm teaching. You might not care about learning about any kind of morality or moral compass because you feel like your life is ruined by who knows what. There's a world of destructive things in our culture. And you might feel like you've fallen into those traps, and what's the use? You know? Well, what's the use is that we need you. This world needs you to find purpose, find a life that is tolerable for you, and that you can be a part of eliminating the amount of suffering in this world. It's like truly one of the most important things. There's many, many people that need help. So I want you to know the value and know that of yourself, and not in this kind of goofy, entitled, spoiled, know-it-all way. You know, there is a hopeless insignificance to us in that we really are nobody. At the same time, we're also so incredibly valuable and important, and our soul is more valuable than all the resources of the world. So I just want this to be an inspiring yeah, that too, but an inspiring word for you, especially depressed, devastated young people. I have been where you are. I know how it feels. And my encouragement, I want you to know, number one, you're not alone, to know that it's normal to feel these things. Before it became such a big, terrifying, suicidal trend, just people would feel that way. They would feel really bad. Life would be unbearable. That's where the words like inconsolable come from. Nothing in the world can console you. You can't bear how you feel. And you don't do anything drastic. You just don't like how you feel. And that's okay. And you just relax into that. And in addition to that, I want you to understand that everything you feel is communicating something to you. That's very important. Anxiety, depression, wanting to be dead. A lot of those things are communicating that your eyes are not seeing the right thing, your ears are not taking in the right thing, you're not getting your needs met emotionally and spiritually. You need a moral compass. You need to have support. You need to have someone who really knows you and loves you and wants to help build you up, which should be a parent, but the parents, many parents have really become useless. And so it's a matter of finding out what the need is and getting it met. So today you don't want to get out of bed. You feel like you want to be dead. Of course. And I could imagine, because anytime I try to understand the young people and like the social media and everything they're doing, I feel like something in me feels this darkness and this deadness overcome me. And I just want to go lay down and I just feel sick. That's just me just experiencing from the outside what's going on in those arenas. So just know, if you're steeped in that, of course you feel anxious and depressed and you want to be dead. That is, I could only imagine how awful you feel. But you don't have to stay there. A lot of those things you can cut yourself off, but you're going to have to go alone. You might only have a couple people. You might be able to find some friends that all agree, like, let's get out of this. And you're going to be shamed and hated and made fun of. And that is what it takes to get out. So I'm here to encourage you in that. And to find little bits, little pockets of things that can bring you a groundedness in reality and begin to explore outside of your sphere of, maybe it's like a suburban, concrete, nowhere to walk, boring modern life. And that is not all there is. You can begin to explore and search online, because you do have the world at your fingertips here. You can begin to explore like I did. I began to explore permaculture, self-reliance, homesteading, organic farming, how to cook in healthy ways that made me feel better, sewing. I began to tackle everything. And I realized, like, this is the life that I want. I didn't even know it was there, because you're bombarded with the pop culture madness and everyone is stuck in it and they think that's all that there is. So it's time to break out of all of those things and go find the life you really want to live. So I thought at that time, like, I want to be dead. I hate my life. I learned over time, I didn't hate my life. I hated the modern American life, and I didn't want to live it. But what's so wonderful about the United States of America is that we have an unprecedented freedom to go and explore life and choose things that no one has ever had the choice ever in the history of the world. We all have more rights than we could ever imagine. And sadly, everyone is complaining that we don't have our rights and we're all being oppressed and we're all all the victimhood. And I'm just shocked at how little people understand that they have. And they're all trying to make everyone like them, and we all need to get along. People don't get along, and people won't like you. You just need to go find the life that you were meant to live. So I'm encouraging you to do that day. Do that today. All right. This is Mama Jess, and I will be in touch. I care about you. Take time to journal whatever has come to mind through this. And I'm going to continue to try to, I am seeking out the principals of the high school in the area. I'm seeking out librarians. I'm seeking out anybody, books that are written for young adults. Anyone who can help me understand how I can help you. That is why I'm here. So I hope that word encouraged you, because I know a word like that sure would have encouraged me back then. All right. I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.